All right, welcome back everybody to the Dota 2 Grand Final for the Samsung European Encounter. It's Game 2, Copenhagen Wolves against We Has Asian. With me again, fucking Mad. From now on, Mad.
Yeah, thanks again for welcoming me on this cast.
No
First
problem.
game.
Well, one sec.
Yeah.
You get a hat.
I get a hat. I get a hat. That's nice.
And I get one too.
Been better with hat. Always.
Now, we are already in the lobby, and Holy Master making sure everybody's ready, good to go. Players went for a quick pee. I guess while we're waiting for the second game to start, during the draft of Game 1, we already saw that there's going to be some high aggression coming out of both sides, and for some reason just seemed to be working out for We As Asian. They really had no fear of moving across the map for some really deep smoke gangs, etc. Yes, thanks, Syndra, making sure that Matt knows
My captain is making sure that I wear the hat correctly. Thanks for Syndra.
How to wear a hat, but nobody really caught that anyway.
What would I do without him?
Second game is now underway. We can switch on to my screen, guys. The draft is now happening. Respect ban, and we have Feta now yelling up. Everybody's happy. They're like, oh boy.
And
so that's a respect ban right there. They take out the Chaos Knight. They're all like, no, too scary.
And that was without any hesitation. Just first ban Chaos Knight. They needed 1 second to decide this. So obviously they're done dealing with the Fated Chaos Knight. They want to face something else.
Fatality plays a very good Chaos Knight, but unfortunately he really sucks at Achtung die Kurve. But it's not that bad. Now, second ban Nagasarian. I think from now on we'll see relatively normal bans going on.
Yeah, that's very likely to see normal bans. I don't think any team want to try something very funky for this game. We're in the finals. It's Copenhagen Wolves is 1 game behind, so obviously they're going to try to play something very solid. And, well, I guess the same for WHA. And like we said, we saw Like and Drop and Darkseer. That's top picks here. Nothing very uncommon about this, just tender bans.
Here you go, man. One more Samsung mobile energy drink for you.
Thanks.
One more for me. That's awesome. Darkseer ban out. What do you think about Nagasarian in general? Her ultimate got reworked so that now it's like a constant AoE for that full duration. We had Alex from Ubels telling us that perhaps reverting it to its original state from Dota 1 where it's like a cast time and then it's just a fixed AoE and then the duration.
Yeah, the good thing with this ultimate is that you can break it whenever you want. The caster of the spell can break it whenever he wants. So he has 7 seconds to make sure that his teammates are ready to land their combo properly. And then with very good teams like this, it's just a nightmare. They're going to land super combos after the sleep is over or after he removes it. So that's a very, very scary hero to play against. And obviously it's also very good on the lane. It's super good at farming fast. It's a very, very difficult hero to deal with. And we're gonna see it first ban for a long time. I even think at the international that's coming up soon, it's gonna be a top ban as well. It's one of the strongest heroes in the game right now. It's a good thing it has been added.
Yeah, absolutely. And you do have to keep in mind, guys, that if you set up a combination with Nagasarian, you have to have good timing. And I don't have it. There's like a ship coming from Kunka, and then as soon as it hits, then I stop the sleep, and everybody's like, okay, let's run away now.
Exactly. One of the best combos with it would be Tidehunter or things like this. Whenever you break the sleep, then you ravage on 5 people. The thing is, you sleep the enemy, and then you can position however you want. So you get the best positioning, and you get to initiate. And a team like this can't ask for better. And we see again the morphling ban from WHA. They stick to what they planned.
All right, Copenhagen Wolves. Now they got the first pick because they are on the Radiant side. Dire's had this time for We Has Asian, so we see a Rubik.
And that's very interesting. I mean, basically what happened is that at the first game we saw Rubik ban in the first 3 from Wolves. And now they just respect ban Chaos Knight, so they had to let Rubik in the hands of We Has Asian. So let's see if We Has Asian can do something as good as they did with CK. And then that's something when you're losing against a team and you don't even know anymore what to ban, because whenever you ban one hero, you give them another. So that's really hard to deal with.
And a Brewmaster, finally on the main stage, we're going to see a Brewmaster. You guys from MTW, you guys utilized Brewmaster a bunch of times. Also, I think fought against him, or was it just Miguel stealing the Brewmaster ultimate, making it look as though you fought against the Brewmaster? Not so sure. But Lone Druid Brewmaster is like a really interesting little matchup, especially when Brewmaster throws out his ulti. It's a little bit of hell during that duration.
Brewmaster is super good against Scylla because you can just Cyclone the bear and make sure that the Radiants do no damage in fight. You can just change Cyclone the bear with the blue panda, so that's why Brewmaster is very used against Scylla bear.
Alright, Chen, third pick from We Has Asian. We still have Enchantress and Enigma in the pool as junglers, and Copenhagen Wolves. Could it be that in every game you guys played against Copenhagen Wolves there was an Enigma present?
I don't remember quite well, but I think so. At least in 2 games out of 3. So they really rely on this pick. They can use it super well. I don't know if they're gonna get it this time. And I want to point out something that's really funny about Dota series. Usually we see one team getting a pick, and then on the second game, regardless of who won the first game, we see the other pick get the same pick the first one got. For example, here we got Scylla Bear and Chen. For We Has Asian, that was exactly what Copenhagen Wolf got in the first 3. And it happens really often. I can't explain it, but that's how it is.
Well, I guess they gotta... We As Asian is now employing a different play style. We know Fatality won't have his Chaos Knight anyway. And Nature's Prophet is that one hero that hasn't been in the pick pool last time around. So Copenhagen Wolves very confident in their ability to make something big happen with this hero. Do you know who's going to be playing that?
Miguel is one of the best players of Nature Prophet, maybe in Europe, that's for sure, maybe even more. He's one of the best players of Nature's Prophet, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna play it. I also think Calculus plays it. One of those 2 players, most likely. And they're both super good at using it, so that's a big asset for that team.
Alright, second ban phase now through. Copenhagen Wolves could pick up Enigma right now if they wanted to. He's still in the pool. Enchantress, Broodmother, Beastmaster.
And it's the same story. Broodmother got ignored in the first 3 picks, and in my opinion, it would have been a super pick for both teams regarding the heroes, but it's just ignored. I don't think any of those teams is confident playing this hero, so they just ignore it and ban it in the second phase to make sure the other team won't get it, but looks like they don't really care about this hero.
Yeah, support Crystal Maiden picked up, so Nature's Prophet always makes the prediction of the laning a little bit iffy. You can jungle, you can long lane, you can solo mid. To be honest, I personally really like the solo mid Nature's Prophet. I mean, you have that caveat that when you TP away, then you will leave the other mid alone, but for some reason I really like the idea of having a high level Nature's Prophet on the map.
And many players don't use it, many do, but Nature's Prophet with its treants, for example, when he's mid, he can use the treants to harass the laner he's against, so that makes him very, very strong. He can also check runes and destroy them. Eventually, if he doesn't get them, he's a very strong laner on every lane. He can wood, he's super strong easy lane, he can off lane and creep skip. It's one of the best heroes in the game, and that's why it was first picked by Wolves without any easy hesitations. But what's, let's say, different from the other games from Wolves is that so far they have no carry. Usually they always get Scylla Bear, Morphling, some sort of carry potential, so they don't fear to go into the late game. Prophet is some sort of a carry because he's a very good farmer, but he's not really effective in late, like not as effective as a Scylla Bear at least.
Okay, Queen of Pain pickup for We As Asian. So I think Fatality has his hero right there. Perhaps Hani will play it. No, Hani will probably be on the Lone Druid. But Queen of Pain, well, would be able to burst down Crystal Maiden and Venomancer with relative ease, I guess. Nature's Prophet, I guess, early on too. And she will just be a very strong laner. But the question is on which lane they're going to put her.
10 seconds remaining.
Do you think we're going to see like a support Rubik, or is he going to get more XP and farm on lane?
Everything can happen. Again, it depends on the Scylla Bear. What we often see from teams, they get heroes that can lane everywhere. For example, Rubik, when they first pick it, first it's a very good hero, so that's something, but there are many good heroes. But Rubik can support, he can solo mid, he can play easy lane, so you don't really give information to the opponents, and that's really important. Same goes for Scylla Bear. He can off lane, he can mid, or you can play him as an easy lane farmer. So every option is open for WHA, same goes for Wolves, although they committed themselves a bit by picking the Storm Spirit, which is a great pick by the way, especially against Co-op. They can lane it like they want, and that's why it's such a mind game to try to guess the opponent's lanes and have to get the best setup so you can have early game advantage and just play with this advantage and try to snowball.
Reserve time.
So looking at the boys of We As Asian over there, I don't think they're so sure about their last pick yet. They're discussing something. Fada's leaning over toward Hani.
And that's why communication is so important for those teams.
Oh, okay. So we hear applause for an anti-mage pick. What kind of people are you?
And that's really risky from we as Asian, because thing is, anti-mage is obviously a good pick against Copenhagen Wolves lineup, but Copenhagen Wolves, they're going to be looking to put lots of pressure with Prophet and Storm, and to eventually push in with the help of Brewmaster, Venomancer and Prophet. So that means anti-mage will be forced to come back and defend at one point, very likely at the 20-minute mark or something. So will he be farmed enough to deal with that? That's the question. So they need to make sure he gets some sort of farm.
Yeah, I agree. Now the heroes are being picked up by their respective players. Copenhagen Wolves with that Storm Spirit. It's going to come down to whether or not he can snowball out of control. Once that happens, it's really, really tough. If Anti-Mage goes for a Battle Fury first, then that's big trouble. But yes, again, guys, this is Samsung European Encounter Grand Final. Game 2 coming up. Please give it up for the players on the main stage.
Prepare for battle.
So going over the Radiant heroes, Balsamo will be playing Venomancer, the Nino on support Crystal Maiden, S4 Brewmaster, Miguel, as you pointed out earlier, Mad, on Nature's Prophet, Calculus on Storm Spirit. I personally really like Calculus Storm Spirit. Fada on Anti-Mage. Hani will actually be playing Queen of Pain. Crydeja is their lone druid player, I guess. They switched it off because I'm pretty sure Hani played him yesterday. Atso on Rubik and Armsy on Shen.
Yes, Miguel on Prophet, that's no surprise. He's really a good Prophet player, and Calculus is also very used to play the Storm Spirit. That's why he took it this game. We're going to see some global ganking for sure. And those players, they know each other for quite a long time. They were together in the same team. I think they were named SK, maybe Quantic at this point. Then Calculus left the team for some reason, and now they're back again in the same team for this tournament. So they know each other super well, and that's the synergy between players in a team is really important, especially in LAN.
Alright guys, keep in mind, we as Asian just won the last game. And if they win this one, then they're in for the big money. I think it's 5,000 or 6,000 euros for Dota 2. And then I think around 3,000 for the first rank players. This would be a good chunk of money for we as Asian.
So both teams are looking toward, and now Fada scouts the whole
Fada saw it way over in enemy territory, the entire Radiant squad. They are eager, and they know they're going to make something big happen. I mean, in all honesty, this must be something that nobody really expected. I mean, we have the likes of MTW, SGC, Copenhagen Wolves, Infused. They're all here. All the big teams got knocked into the lower bracket, and this random German team.
I think maybe it's the German factor. They're playing at home, I mean in their home country. Maybe that's a factor. I'm pretty sure. For example, we see this with the Ukrainians or the Russians when they play at home in a Russian land. They're always stronger, so that might be because of the crowd. I don't know. There's so many factors. They're just showing how strong they can be. So again, we can't take anything away from them.
I think the Nino was hoping for Chen to have like 3 or 4 uphill misses, which isn't that rare in Dota 2.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
It's so weird, man. I saw one game where that guy literally was dewarding and took like 12 or 13 attacks to destroy a single ward.
And I want to point out something very, very smartly informed. We has Adrian. Obviously, they saw the Prophet and Venomancer Panda Maiden. They expected Wolves to challenge. That means they go on the other side of the map to put pressure. That's why they laned Hani on the co-op top lane, because it's really difficult to kill the co-op, obviously because of the blink. And they put Anti-Mage, the carry Wolves wanted to shut down, they put it mid against Prophet. That means if Prophet wants to TP somewhere to get a gang going, then he's giving even more farm to Anti-Mage. So he has to think, Miguel has to think twice about blinking somewhere, like blinking, porting somewhere.
Absolutely. And Crystal Maiden will most likely be prioritizing her Frostbite skill over the Nova now. Because keep in mind, if you're under the effect of Frostbite, then you are able to cast spells, but not blink-based spells. So Queen of Pain would be able to throw a dagger or to scream, throw out some sort of spell, but not blink away. And that's what's going to be